Burundi is a small country in Central Africa, like on what we call East African community. I'm married and I have my wife, his name is Mariam. We have 3 children. The first one is Nathan, 8 years old, and Tracy Joy, who's 5 years old, and Zoe, who have 1 year. In '93, it was the first time we had a president democratically elected. And after 3 months, some of the soldiers in the National Army killed the president. And that time, I was in boarding school, and my father was killed 2 days after the president died. And my father and 19 other people of my family who was surrounding our house was taken and killed, and since from '93 to now I never see where the body of my father was put. In '93, in around I think 3 months, 300,000 people from my ethnic group was killed in just only 3 months. And this was happening everywhere, in schools, in churches. Many young people from my ethnic group decide to join rebellion groups or to revenge, but myself, I have choose to work for peace and reconciliation. And I grew up as Christian. I was going to church and serve God every day. I was in Catholic church. But in '93, when these things happened, I was asking myself how Christian people who are around 90% of the population can do these kind of things, how they can fight together and kill their brothers and sisters, like they say at church. And at that time I say, maybe there's no God. I don't believe in God anymore, because I cannot understand how this can happen to the Christian who was going every Sunday at church. At that time I was 17 at that time, and one day someone came give me an invitation to join a group was made together to pray, but it was in a restaurant. I say it's a different Christian from different churches, and that time this opened me eyes and say, oh, they are discussing about the message from the Bible. And when I start to read Matthew, especially Matthew 5 to 7, I discovered that the message from Jesus was powerful about reconciliation, about forgiveness, love, and how we can plan to help someone else who is in need. And it was new for me. It was like Jesus himself talked to my heart. And that time I have decided to give my life to Jesus, saying now I don't need to be Christian because I'm from a Christian family, but I have to have this personal experience with God. In 2009, last year, the all rebellion group have signed a peace accord. Now we don't have a fight or war in our country. On Christmas Day in '98, a friend came to me because he knew my situation. He gave me 5,000 Burundian francs, whose that time was $5. $5. They say, I give to you. You can go to buy something on Christmas Day. I know that you have some difficulties, and it was a big amount for me to buy something, and I say thank you. When I was in a bus going in the downtown, I saw many street children who was on the street, and it was Christmas Day. I think how what is maybe for this time mean the Christmas Day. When I was in the bus, it's like I say, it's the Holy Spirit who tell me, go out from the bus and do something for these children. And I have to take decision. I come out of the bus. I went to see the children who sit down there And I start to ask them what is meaning Christmas for you. For some nothing, for others this, and I took the money I have, and we got to buy some soda, some drink, and also some bread, and I give to them. It was around maybe 15 street children who was in the same group. And after we take time to sing, and I have for maybe after my father was killed, I have never have a time to rejoice like this Christmas day. This gives me strong joy, and it's like the Holy Spirit will tell me, you think you are the vulnerable one, but there are others who are more vulnerable, who need someone who can love them, share them about that God loved them. They are on the streets yet, but God still loved them. At that time I met a businessman who came and he paid rent for a house, or he come regularly when he came in vacation, and he asked me to take care of his house. And I asked him if I can take the children in this house. But at that time I take 28 street children in this house with me, to stay with me. It was 1 year before I be married, and I continued to stay with them 3 years more when I was married. And this is how the project started, and I started to meet some people who come to sponsor one church, and until now I have 64 street children who are now going to school, who have everything, and we still have 250 street children who stay on the street, coming regularly in our program for food, for clothing. This is how this program started, and because in our country that time it was with 15,000 street children in a small country of 8 million people. When I say orphan, there are more, but orphan street children, it was around 15,000 in the country, because of the war and because of the AIDS, also because of famine. Famine was killing also some people, and some children had to come on the street for begging.